Hello and welcome to the new channel dedicated to cello lessons and the cello tutorials. As this is my first video, I decided to create a list which will help you to prepare for your first lesson or the first session. Also, because I expect this video to be quite long, you will find the shortcuts in the description, so you can jump from one topic to another topic if you missed something or you want to hear it again. Number one is you will need to find a teacher. Do it yourself is great, but you might end up with the bad habits and injuries. So therefore, you will need someone who can observe you and guide you. And also, the teacher will tailor the lessons according to your needs and your interests. Remember, relearning and correcting bad habits will take you much longer than if you will try to learn them right from the very beginning. During your studies, you will have a lot of questions. Something like, is it a good time to start vibration or the new position? Or are you ready for legato? Are you ready for the piece you really enjoy? That's why it's good to have someone who can answer them. Number 2, cello. If you're an adult, you will probably go with a full-size cello. But if you're looking for an instrument for your child or for your student, you might need an extra help. You have two options. Option 1 is go to the local rentals and they will help you to choose the right instrument. Or if you decided to go with the option 2, which is buying online, before doing that, check the cello size guide and measure your student's or your child's arm length. In the next lesson, we will learn how to establish a good posture. Number 3, bow. You shouldn't have any issues with that because usually the cello comes already with the same size bow. So my only advice will be try first the piccolo bow. And the reason why is the original bow is quite unbalanced. The weight we have at the very beginning is really heavy, but at the very tip is quite light. So to avoid the most common mistakes, which is related to a heaviness of the bow, try to go first with the piccolo bow. That will help you to establish a very nice grip without any unnecessary tension in your hand. I can definitely say that the piccolo bow is a shortcut to establish a good right hand technique. Number 4, Rosin. Choose the one which says cello Rosin, not the violin, not the double bass, but cello Rosin. It's because of the thickness of the string. The violin string is quite thin, the double bass is quite thick. The cello is somewhere in between. Therefore, you can't go for the violin Rosin or for the bass Rosin. You will need to go with the cello Rosin. Number 5, stool. Again, if you're an adult, you will go with any stool or chair which will allow you to keep your knee 90 degrees. Again, in the next video, we will talk about that little tips which will help you to establish a good posture. But if you're looking for the stool for your child or for your student or students, this is the best solution I found so far. Let me demonstrate how that works. So you can adjust it to any height you need. And another good thing about this stool is it's quite compact and mobile, so you can take whatever you're going to. And if you're quite tall, then try the piano stool because you can adjust it and it goes quite high. Number 6, music stand. In the market, there are two types of music stands. One is light and the other is heavy. I prefer to go with a heavy music stand, and it's called conductor or orchestra stand. The reason why is they're quite stable, and because they have a good solid surface, it's much easier to make the notes. If you're looking for the mobile version, then you will go with the light music stand because it's easier to fold and they're much lighter to carry on. Number 7 and 8 is the metronome and the tuner. At the very beginning, when the pitch is not perfectly developed, you might need an extra help to tune your cello. With the tuner, you can see how far you are from the note you are searching for. And the metronome. Unfortunately, we don't have the perfect sense of the rhythm or the pulse. Therefore, we need someone who can kick us to play on time. Another reason is, very often at the beginning of the piece or the movement, you will see the numbers. For example, 120 beats per crochet. How do we know how fast is that? Therefore, we need the metronome to follow those marks. Number 9, mirror. The mirror will be an essential. Unfortunately, the perspective you see the things from your angle is different from the reality. Therefore, observing yourself in a mirror will be the perfect option. Choose the one which is tall and wide, so you can see fully right hand when it's opened. Number 10, spike holders. For the teaching, I'm using this, but for the student concerts, I'm using this because it just looks better on the stage. I know there are rubber spike holders in the market, but they never work with me. Number 11, cloth. You will notice your cello is getting dusty after you practice, so wipe it off to maintain your instrument clean. You will need to ensure it fits in your case and you can take it with you wherever you go. Number 12 and 13 is the pencil and the notebook. Try to make the notes during your lesson or session or straight after. It's because the things are very fresh in your mind and you won't forget anything. Spare set of the strings. If you can afford, try to have them as an emergency. For example, imagine you have an exam or very important performance tomorrow, your string snapped, and you can't get replacement until tomorrow. You will panic. The spare set of the strings will help you to avoid that situation. My only advice is choose the same brand you have attached to your cello. It's to maintain the same balance between strings. And the last is the practice mute. It is optional, and for the very beginners I don't recommend to use it. If it's really necessary and you don't want to disturb your family members or the neighbors, then yes, you will definitely use the practice mute. But again, the quality of your sound might be reduced. You might end up with a forced sound because you don't hear the full projection of the string. To not reduce the quality of your sound, try to practice without. So that's it for now. I really hope that video was useful. If you liked it, please put your thumb up and subscribe to not to miss the next videos. Also, if you have the questions, please comment below and I will answer them as soon as possible. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.